and welcome to day one of our body sculpting class, weight training, aerobic fitness class here at Tarrant County College. My name is Eli and some toys that we will use today. Ideally, if you have tennis shoes on, that'd be great. I'm a big barefoot fitness type of person, so I just have my toe socks on, but definitely I highly recommend tennis shoes. Another piece of equipment that we'll use in our workout will be a set of hand weights. If you don't have hand weights, canned goods will be completely acceptable as well. And behind me, you see a lot of different toys that we'll use throughout the course of the semester. So those will be listed on the actual workout itself for your assignment as far as what would be needed. But here we are. We're in a standing position to get ourselves a little bit warmed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to open out into a nice wide-legged stance. I have a lateral turnout for my feet. You're welcome to be more parallel. I just like having my knees in line with my hips in line with my toes. So from here, we're just going to squat down and stand ourselves up. We've got it. And I'm going to get my Apple Watch going here so I've got the correct amount of time on this, and I'm just going to make this another workout and it'll get me started. There we go. So the purpose of this particular workout is to do a little bit of a warm-up, then perform some static stretches, and then get into the grunt of the workout where we're going to get our heart rate up, and we'll have somewhat interval trainings going on. So hopefully we're getting that heart rate up a little bit, and there's ways to make this more intense. But right now, just as a warm-up, I'm going to keep it fairly simple. Throughout the course of the semester, we're going to have little toys out here over here to your right. I've got the Bosu ball. If you don't happen to have a Bosu ball, an elevated step over here to my left behind me is going to be an acceptable option. And that needs to be some kind of a sturdy box, maybe about, a foot or two off the floor. A step of a stairwell is going to be great. We're not going to use that today. We're going to keep the workout pretty simple. Now from here, we're going to squat down and kick up. Squat down and then add a butt kick. So anything you want to do with your arms, you're welcome to perform with your arms. Over here to my right, that blue ball is a stability ball. I'm not going to use it too much in our workouts, just isolated, because I understand not everybody's going to have a stability ball, but it can definitely help to make some workouts a little bit more interesting. Also, slightly behind me to the left here is that cylindrical blue. I'll move out of the way depending on what camera's looking at here. So this guy here is a foam roller, and when we get into some core training with some of my Pilates exercises, that's really fun as well. Canned goods can substitute for your hand weights. I don't have a kettlebell in the back right now because my kettlebell is actually holding up my clock so I can keep the eye on the digital clock in front of me. But kettlebell will be another option if you don't have kettlebells, hand weights, or some kind of a laundry detergent like an industrial side, not industrial, but a bigger one that you might get at Costco or something like that. You can get them at Walmart too. That has a little handle on it. Will be a great substitute for some of those kettlebell workouts. Just make sure that the caps are completely closed. Let's go a little step together, or a little step touch here. The lower you get, the more intense it becomes. Now a little step together, step touch. And you choose what the distance is that you travel. Step together, step touch. Now I can do this standing upright, not as intense. A little bit lower, more intense. So you can also determine how intense your workouts are. You can stay at my pace, or you can go faster or slower as well. I can't hear my music. You can't hear my music either. Trying to get it a little bit louder because I like to have music to inspire me. And I do recommend throwing some music on, but I also want to advise you that each workout there will be some requirements with respect to providing me with a word of the day, a phrase of the day, or answering a question just to make sure that you're performing the workouts. On our next one, we're going into some lunges here. Alternate the leg that lunges forward. So with that word of the day, or the question of the day, or the phrase of the day, I might say it at any random point of the workout. It could be at the beginning of the workout. It could be 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in, 45 minutes into the workout. It's always going to be random, and that will be one of the requirements for this class. We have about 7 more counts, along with in a class like this, reporting your heart rate. If you happen to have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit that records your heart rate, that's great, but when this class or this session is over, I'll go over the old school style of calculating your heart rate. 5 more counts with our lunges. 4, stay tall with the spine. 3, 2, and last one. Beautiful. Now just break your imaginary board and breathe. Trying to think of some other toys. There's a thing called a glider. If you don't happen to have a glider, it's this little disc shape here. You can substitute a paper plate for one of those gliders, or even just a towel, but you do need some kind of a hard floor surface when you use it. I actually, in this room, am not able to use the gliders because I've got a carpeted surface. So I'll transfer over to our aerobic training room whenever I want to use those gliders. The problem there is that the sound isn't as great. All right, we've gotten about 5 minutes in there. So let's do some static stretches. Raise one arm up, lean on over to the side, tug onto this hand, and breathe. Now you can be straight upright. I just like to have a little bit of a wider stance. I have a better base, a better foundation with a wider stance. Narrow stance is a little bit more challenging to balance. So go with what feels best for your body. Also, anytime you need to take a break, it's okay to stop and drink water, take a break. Listen to your body as you perform these workouts. Come on back to center and laterally flex to the other side. You can just have this hand resting down or bring your bottom hand up to meet your top wrist. And I personally have 3-pound hand weights. You get to select whatever works for you. Whether you have 1 pound, 2 pound, 3, 5, 8, 10, 20. We basically will be performing 1-minute intervals in today's session. Come on back to center. Wide legs, little sumo squat is what I like to call this. Sink the tailbone down. Some of us can get a little bit deeper to the floor with our booty than others. And breathe. I still have my lateral turnout with my feet. You might want to continue to look forward. Some people might want to drop their head a little bit closer to the floor. Just watch out for imbalances depending on the day. If I try to drop my head down when I come back to stand up, I get a little dizzy. So I like to kind of keep my head slightly elevated just from previous experience. You have one negative experience as far as getting a little unsettled, and you kind of remember that. There's certain exercises that will come up, especially with those gliders, that I'll tell you the option, but I personally don't like to do them. And let's bring ourselves up. From here, basically a standing cat-cow. So I'm back in that wide-legged position. I'm in a flat back posture here. As I breathe out, I round my spine like somebody just punched me in the belly button, and I round my spine into a C curve shape. And then I arch as I look up to the ceiling. Some of you might have different conditions where you're not able to squat or lunge. Just try to perform something that will be beneficial to you, whether it's a sit-up, a crunch. If you're not able to be on your knees, everybody has particular situations. I'll try to give you modifications, but sometimes I just get into the grunt of my workout and I start doing it. And I want you to feel free to know that you can make accommodations for what might be going on with your body, possibly performing a previous exercise. All right, from here, Let's straighten one leg forward. We're going to bend through this back leg, hinge the heart center forward. My hands go onto, actually my heels should be resting. Hands go into the thigh of the bent knee leg, and this other leg is straight forward. And hopefully you're experiencing a nice stretch through these hamstrings. Now there's a difference of having my toes down and my toes lifted. I get a lot more of a sensation in my calf when I raise my toes up off of the floor. And we breathe. And again, I recommend wearing tennis shoes. I'm just a barefoot fitness type of person. We have 4 more counts. 3, 2, 1. Release. Let's switch over to the other side. Going to start off with that foot down to the floor. There's also going to be a lot of variety in the workouts where maybe some yoga moves might be thrown in, some Pilates moves, some bar-like moves. There's a ballet bar there. Raise your toes up. Potentially some kickboxing moves as well, depending on the particular workout or the theme that I choose for that particular day. We'll bring ourselves back up. Wall is also another good source to have. Standing thigh stretch. Some of us don't need the use of the wall. We can balance just fine, but others might need that ballet bar. A good substitute for a ballet bar would be a kitchen countertop or the back of a dining room table chair. Let's switch it out, other leg. And this side might be easier to balance on. It might be a little bit more challenging. We breathe. But it's good to incorporate stretching in every workout. It's so, so important. We have 5 more counts like this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right. So what we're going to start off here with are some just regular parallel squats. Little yoga chair squats is what I like to call them. And I've got my eye on the clock here. Starts right now. What we'll perform is 1-minute intervals. So a little functional interval training is what I like to refer to this as. I'll tell you when we're 45 seconds into the actual exercise if you want to take a 15-second break. Otherwise, you can continue through as we perform our exercises. When we're in our 2nd minute of this workout, we're going to go into something a little bit lower intensity. Now, if you really wanted to make this explosive, this would be level 3. Right here is level 1. Level 2 is just adding a little knee strike in between those squats, or level 3. All right, that's 45 seconds in. And we're going to grab our hand weights and perform a bicep curl here in 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This minute has started now for our bicep curls. Again, when I give that countdown, you are welcome to take that break. You don't have to keep moving with me. I'm just used to moving. Now on these bicep curls, you could alternate left arm to right arm or work them in unison. Another option to make them more challenging, elevate those elbows. And it depends on the heaviness of your weights as well. If you don't happen to have hand weights or canned goods, you can have water bottles that are easy to grip and maybe load them up to make them heavier. If you like, water's obviously relatively light, but maybe some rice or some beans, something that might weigh a little bit more. That's your 45-second mark. We're going to return to those squats in 10 more counts. 9, I'm going to let those hand weights go in 5 more counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're repeating what we did. We're going to do 2 sets of each one, and then we'll start a new little circuit. And as a reminder, level 2, we can add a little knee strike here with these squats. And level 3, jump on up and squat on down. So up to you. How heavy do you want to get your heart rate? Or not, depending on what your body can handle. And there's a lot of factors into what your body can handle as far as the condition of your knees, the condition of your back, so the condition of your heart as far as what your heart can handle. And you might want to just limit, keep it nice and simple, or go deeper into those squats. That's our 45-second mark. We're going back into our bicep curls in 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bicep curls have begun. You can have a narrow stance or a wide stance. I have a more narrow stance in my first round. If you did want to make this more complicated, you can continue through with some squats here, whether they're wide or narrow, getting a multi-purpose concept going on. Oh, feeling good. And again, elevated elbows to make it more challenging, alternating, reciprocal movement. Up to you. You know what is going to benefit your body the most. When we do our upper body session for our next round, we're going to go into those tricep kickbacks if I remember properly. That's our 45-second mark. If you need to take a break and drink water, this is your opportunity. We have 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step together, step touch. Low like we did in our warm-ups, or stand ourselves up. When we progress with this semester, you'll have the opportunity to add a Bosu ball or somewhat of an elevated surface. If you had maybe a sturdy bench, I've got my little sturdy white box over there that I could be marching over the top, that would be great. I would not recommend marching over the top of a dining room table chair. That's a little too high, and that dining room table chair is not sturdy enough. But the Bosu ball is lower than my elevated white box there, and you can go faster. I mean, you can, or go slower. That's our 45-second mark if you need to take a break. We're getting into our tricep kickbacks. But you're going to have plenty of opportunities to add toys for muscle confusion. Tricep kickbacks in 4, 3, 2, one leg is lunging forward, and I've got my tricep kickbacks. Little front view here. You can alternate right arm to left arm. I'll let you know when we're midway through at that 45-second mark to switch over and have the other leg lunging forward. Engage through your abdominal core. Keep your head in line with your spine. No double chinning. That's our midway point for the 45-second mark. So lunge your other leg forward. Keep the head in line with the spine. Big mistakes I see people make, they look too high to the ceiling or they look too low to the ground. Keep that head in line with the spine. Imaginary saran wrap wrapped around your waistband, blowing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. Step together, step touch. That's our 45-second mark if you need to take a break. That step together, step touch is coming up in 8 more counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You keep it low to make it more interesting. It's okay to stay more upright. Again, you know what's going on. And you can go a little bit faster, up to you, or slower. Go to your particular pace that works best for your body. I can take a little look at my Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch isn't that great at recording my heart rate. It says I don't have a heart rate right now. So, gotta love modern technology. Old school style would be the best way to go, where I have my middle and index finger on my wrist and drop it down to my carotid artery, and I'm moving and talking. I can't count right now. But there's our 45-second mark. We're ready for our tricep kickbacks in about 10 more seconds. Breath continuation. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One leg is lunging forward. Keep your head in line with your spine. I like to say imaginary saran wrap wrapped around your waistband. Maybe a corset, all tightened up, keeping that abdominal core engaged. 6 more counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, other leg lunges forward. You could alternate right arm to left arm as well. The back heel can be down or lifted depending on what feels best for your body as well. Jumping jacks coming up in our next cardio interval. Right there is our 45-second mark. If you want to keep going, you can. If you want to take a break, drink water, you may as well. 10 more counts. 9, jumping jacks, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Modified version where there's no jumping and just a little step touch as you raise these arms. Regular version, add that little hop. So up to you as far as getting your heart rate up for this round. And we breathe. Got 45 seconds here, and you can go faster. You can go slower. Up to you. Feeling good. It's nice to get a little sweat going for us. Going into a chest press next. It's like an air push-up. Holding onto those hand weights. And if you don't have hand weights, you can go up to your wall and perform a wall push-up. That's our 45-second mark if you need to take a break now. Chest press or wall push-ups. In 5 more counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest press. Blow out through the mouth as we punch those arms forward. Breathe in through the nose. Now, if you do have hand weights, you're welcome to alternate again. 1 arm at a time. Blowing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. The biggest mistake I see people doing when they're using weights is that they're moving too fast. And if you have a lighter load, that's great. If you have a heavier load, you might want to go a little bit slower. Embrace the concentric and the eccentric contractions of the movement. This is dynamic movement. We breathe, we listen to our bodies, we feel. Back to our jumping jacks. That's our 45-second mark. You're welcome to continue through or to take that break. Jumping jacks in 8 more counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can go faster than my pace. You can slow it down and eliminate the jumping portion. Just keep moving. Another option is to always march in place as potential substitutes for a particular cardio move that doesn't work for you. Returning to our chest press when we complete this interval. (41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Take that break if you want. Otherwise, continue with me. Clock for that chest press or wall push-up starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest press. And just for a visual, wall push-up, here I am. And still working similar muscle groups as a chest press. Another option for those of you that have the hand weights going, you could alternate 1 arm at a time, add a twist. Eye gaze to follow the elbow that remains bent. Shh. Blow out through the mouth on the harder part. Breathing in through the nose on the easier part. (43, 44, 45. Going into a new cardio move. I got to think about it. In less than 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're lunging. Alternate the leg that lunges forward. We did this in our warm-up. I have my back heel lift off of the floor. Now, if you want to make this more dynamic, here you go. You can add a hop to it. And I'm just going to keep lunging forward and back because I've got to talk to you. And it's been a while since I've done a cardio type style workout. I want you to be able to understand what I'm saying as well. Notice knee on top of heel or ankle, not knee on top of toes for that front leg. For knee safety, chest is upright, not leaning forward. There's a different kind of elevator lunge when we get into the gliders that we'll perform. That's our 45-second mark. We'll go into a chest fly. I call it hug the tree next. 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg is forward again like we did in our triceps. Retraction of the scapula. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Keep the same position for the elbows. Blowing out through the mouth. We'll switch the leg that's lunging forward at the midway point for that 45-second count, which occurs now. Blowing out through the mouth. Defy gravity as you return to your starting position. Shh. Returning to our lunges when we complete this interval, whether they're dynamic or not, alternating the legs. We've hit our 45-second marker. Last 10 counts. 9, 8, 7, my water's over here. 4, 3, 2, 1. We lunge it out. Alternate the leg that lunges forward. I like to do these little field goal arms to go into that retraction of the scapula that we just did, but when I get fatigued, I just rest my hands to my waist. Some people like to hold on to their hand weights when they perform lunges. Back, heel. Now, I don't have my knee actually hit the floor. You could actually tap that knee down. I'm not a big fan of tapping that knee down. You do what feels most comfortable for your body. We're at our 40-second mark of our second round of lunges here. Chest fly. That's our 45-second mark. I'm actually going to take my break and take a quick swig. Chest fly. Hug your tree. In 3, 2, 1. Retraction of the scapula. I'll let you know when we're halfway through to switch the leg that's lunging forward. Blowing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Shh. Shh. Again, slower is better. Switch it out. One of my favorite sayings, your lack of momentum inspires me on these lower intense intervals. Now at the end of the semester, you're going to hear me say, oh, I just came up with this last week. Well, I'm retaping now some of my earlier portions. So that was our 45-second mark. If you need some more water, you can grab it. 4 more counts. 3, 2, 1. Step together, step touch. Now, this right leg, I'm going to start adding a knee strike with just the right leg instead of the together portion. It's a step, knee strike, step, touch. Step, knee strike, step, touch. Step, knee strike, step, touch. Now, this is just an option. You can continue with this step together, step, touch, or just sideways step touching. Maybe add a twist towards the knee striking leg, if that's okay for your spine. Some people, this may not be okay for your spine. So it's okay to not have the twist. And in fact, we're going to perform 2 minutes in a row here so I don't forget which side we went to. And that's our 50-second mark if you need to take a little breather and grab some water. We'll go with the other leg shortly. In 3, 2, 1. So step, touch, continuation. Maybe step, knee strike, touch, step, touch. Step, knee strike, step, knee strike, touch, touch. Breathe. I like to break the board with my knee strike. Break my imaginary board. Maybe add that twist towards the side of that knee striking leg. And again, this is an option, not an obligation. We'll move into a lateral raise with our hand weights. That's our 45-second mark. That's our 50-second mark. Hand weights coming up, lateral raise. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can kneel or sit down on a chair if you wanted to as well. Keep your eye gaze forward. The general tendency when people raise their hands out laterally like this is that they want to dip their chin into their chest. Now you get to look down at your handheld device, your smartphone, all day long. So right now, work on good posture. Alternating arms if muscle fatigue is setting in. You're welcome to alternate those arms. Blowing out through the mouth as we lift. Breathing in through the nose as we lower. We'll return to that step together, step touch with the optional knee strike. And we'll do 2 minutes again of that cardio work just because. And I'll start off with my left leg and a knee strike just to balance it out. We have 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step together, step touch. Or maybe step, knee strike, step, touch, step, knee strike, step, touch. Add the twist if you want. Breath continuation. We'll switch over to the other side shortly. That's our 45-second mark in case you need to take a breather, grab some water. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, other side. I'm just trying to remember what side I was on. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's correct. And I'm doing the other side. Going with the brain fart on this one. Pretty sure I'm on the other side, otherwise I'm just going to be walking around really imbalanced. And this is another exercise that I like to throw my Bosu ball into later on in our sessions. Moving my right foot here on top of that Bosu and then stepping back down. Having this little twist with this foot on top of the Bosu. That's our 45-second mark. Returning to our lateral raises here in 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing, sitting. You could even kneel if you had a Bosu ball. You could kneel on your Bosu ball. Alternating options, bilateral, unilateral, you choose. When you're standing, allow that blood to flow through your legs. Avoid locking or hyperextending at the knee joint. Good posture here. Tall spine, proud chin. Feeling good, smiling happy faces. We've got this. That's our 51-second marker, just so you know. We've got 5 more counts until our next round of cardio. 3, 2, 1. All right, so you can just kind of march in place here. I actually keep my toes to the ground and I'm just lifting one heel then the other. You can actually march in place. You can get into more of a high knees, jogging in place, trying to maintain a nice 90-degree angle at the elbow joint. And you can go more high knees or more butt kicks, depending on your preference and depending on your particular intensity level. Breathe. Our 45-second mark occurs right now. If you want to take a break, you may. We have 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overhead press. Start off with field goal arms and press those hand weights up towards the ceiling. Blowing out through the mouth. As we straighten through the elbow joint, breathe in through the nose as we fold. Again, you may sit down, you may kneel. You could alternate right arm to left arm. You can work in unison. Find a speed that works for you. Also, your endurance level with your muscles. And if there is something, if you have shoulder issues and overhead press like this wouldn't work, you can return to your bicep curls, those tricep kickbacks. You go with what feels best for your body. We just hit our 45-second mark if you need to take that break. 10 more counts until that marching or running in place. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep it simple here, or you can build up, speed up the tempo if you want. It's messing up my hair here. I had a nice little bun in my head, now it's really bobbing on the back of my head so you can see it here. Ugh. Irritating me, so pull my hair out. We breathe. Just check my clock to see 35 minutes into the workout, so this is really our 25-minute mark of that interval training because we stopped our static stretches right at the 10-minute mark. We're good. $45 if you need to take that break. Overhead press coming up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overhead press. Stand or kneel. Narrow stance is harder to balance. The first position, if you wanted to, that's the Pilates V first position, not your traditional ballerina first position. I like more of an athletic stance or just that wider lateral turnout stance. If you want to add squats here, all the power to you. Getting it. Next one might be a little difficult for the cardio portion on brain fitness, but it's something that we would perform with the Bosu ball or the elevated step. 5 more counts until that 45-second mark. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep going. We've got 12 more seconds until we do the wide, wide, narrow, narrow. We'll start off for the first half with the right leg leading and then the left leg leading. 4, 3, I'll start off slow. 1, so right leg, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Out, out, in. Now, if this doesn't work for you, step touch is a completely acceptable option. If brain fitness allows you to go faster, you can go faster, but notice that my right leg is leading here. And midway through, we're going to switch over and have that left leg lead. And that's our midway point, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So now my left leg is leading just to promote a balance. And you can get really wide and low if you want. You can stay tall. You can move fast or slow, depending on what works for you. I can see that my mat has kind of shifted here with these faster moving achievements. That's 50 seconds there. Grabbing those hand weights, getting ready for another upper body exercise. And we've arrived. So we're going into a front raise. You could alternate left arm to right arm. You can have them work in unison. You can alternate the positioning of your palms. Palms face the sky. Palms face your body. You can twist those palms at the top. Keep it nice and controlled. I was locking my knees there. I just had to give a gentle bend to those knees. Shh. Ah, feeling good. 45-second mark. Going back to our wide, wide, narrow, narrow. In 4 more counts. 3, 2, left leg leads first. March it wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Out, out, in. Fast or slow. You determine the pace. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Fast or slow. Breath continuation. That's our midway point. Switch it out. Right leg leads wide, narrow, narrow. Out, out, in. Speed it up or slow it down. There's our 45-second marker. Front raise coming up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Front raise. Slow it down as you return towards your starting position. Avoid locking or hyperextending knees. Good posture. Tall spine, proud chin, alternating arms. Completely acceptable. Blowing out through the mouth on the harder part. Breathing in through the nose on the nicer part. That's our 45-second marker. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step knee strike down, down. I'm going to march forward so you can see me on my mat, but you notice that I'm knee striking with alternating legs. Step knee strike down, down. And this is more for when I use an elevated surface, but I want you to see what it looks like if you don't have an elevated surface as we progress through our semester. Another option, if your hamstrings can handle it, add a cardio kickboxing front kick. And in one of our future sessions, we'll have a kickboxing workout where I'll go over the proper form. So it's okay to stick with the step knee strike down, down, alternate the leg. That knee strikes it up. That's our 45-second marker. Moving into a Pilates move called the offering in 5, 4, 3, 2, palms stay face the sky, straighten the elbows, open out sideways, close those hands, and then fold the elbows. Breathe out, we present. Breathe in as we open. Breathe out, close, breathe in, bend. Maybe just one arm. Out, close, bend, present, open sideways, bring it back, and fold. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. It's okay to alternate arms. It's okay to work arms in unison. Shh. 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 You can move to my pace. You can move faster. You can move slower. Almost at our 45-second marker. Right there is 45. Step, knee strike, down, down, alternating the leg that knee strikes it up, or maybe front kicks it forward in 5 more counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step, knee strike, march back, and other leg knee strikes it up. There we go. If you want to add a hop, you can. Step, knee strike with a hop. Get that heart rate up even more. Up to you. This is our last cardio minute here. That's our 45-second mark. Offering with those hand weights. Coming up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Present, open, close, bend. Now, if this gets to be too heavy, you can lose the hand weights and just perform the arm choreography. Completely acceptable. We breathe. Feeling good. Ten more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right. Getting a little bit closer to the mat for some abdominal work, followed by some stretching. So finding ourselves in a seated position. Arms out in front of you. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Just roll back to the back of your sit bones. Now, if this hurts your back, stop. Come back up to a sit-up. Raise your hands to the sky. Look up to those fingers. Just hang out here and breathe. A little isometric contraction. Keep breathing. Sit it back up. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Roll back to the back of your sit bones. My feet stay anchored. Now, this time around, we twist. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay here to breathe out. Stay here, breathe in. Stay to breathe out. Breathe in, return center. Breathe out, twist other side. Stay as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Stay here to breathe in. Stay here to breathe out. Breathe in when you return center. Breathe out, we sit up. We're going to add the twist again, but the arm that's staying up, you can lift that foot off the mat if you want. Breathe in, prepare. Blow out, roll back. Breathe in, twist, maybe lift. Stay here to breathe in. Eye gaze to this elbow that's bent. Stay here to breathe out. Stay as we breathe in. Stay to breathe out. One more. Stay here, breathe in, breathe out, release. Breathe in, twist. Stay here, breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Stay to breathe in. Stay to breathe out. One more. Stay here, breathe in. Breathe out, return center, breathe in, sit back up. Finding ourselves in what I like to call a cheerleader picture pose. My bottom knee is bent. I'm on my bottom hip, sideways sitting. Top leg, that foot is in front of the bottom leg's ankle. I breathe and prepare. Breathe out, raise my butt off of the mat. The knee can stay resting into a side bend prep. Breathe and release back down. Breathe out, lift on up, side bend prep. Breathe into lower. Breathe out, maybe raise the knee off into a full side bend, kind of like a side plank, then release down. Breathe out as we lift. Breathe in as we lower. Last time. Breathe out, we lift. Breathe in as we lower. You need to have a good stabilized shoulder. If this hurts your shoulders, don't do it. Other side. Breathe and prepare. I call this the cheerleader picture pose. Breathe out, side bend prep. Breathe in as we release back down. Again, breathe out, side bend or side bend prep. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out, side bend or side bend prep. I'll show the full this next time. And breathe out, side bend or side bend prep. Breathe in as we lower. Breathing out, side bend or side bend prep. Breathe in as we lower. Two more. Shh. Breathe in to release. And last one. Shh. Breathe in as we release. And in all reality, let's just check our heart rate while we can. So find your pulse, middle and index finger, not your thumb. And on your mark, get set, count. Stop. And I got 15. My Apple Watch says 145. So that was a 6-second count. I got 15, so I multiply that by 10 to get my 150 beats per minute count. Moving a little bit closer to the floor for some more abdominal work. We lay on our backs. Hands can go to our forehead, behind the head, or crisscross in front of our chest. Just a simple crunch, blow out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose to lift, lower back down. I know you already did your fitness testing, so we'll keep this simple. If you did want to make it more challenging, you can raise your feet up into your tabletop, tilt that pelvis inward to protect the low back. Another option is to start to add a little twist
little crisscross. I call this obliques when I teach my Pilates mat classes. Shh. Notice that I'm not jamming my knee into my chest as I perform this. Shh. 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 Last two, and one. One. Breathe in back to center. Breathe out, rest everything back down. While we're here on our backs, moving into what I refer to as a shoulder bridge prep. Breathe out, raise your booty up off of the mat. All four corners of the feet are hitting the mat. Breathe in, drop your booty midway down. Breathe out, pulse those hips up. And 9, and 8, strengthening through the booty. 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and shh, and 1. Rest the booty down. If you're able to, place your right ankle to your left thigh. You'll find out real quick if you're not able to. It's okay to rest both feet to the mat. Breathe in, prepare. Blow out, raise your booty off of the mat. Breathe in, lower partially down. Breathe out, 10, and 9, and shh, 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 and 3, and 2, and 1. Rest your booty down. Rest this foot down. Trade it out other side, ankle to thigh. Breathe in, prepare. Blow out, raise your butt off of the mat, little lower, little lift. And shh, 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 shh. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Rest that booty back down. Let's straighten one leg down, flat to the mat. Bring one knee up towards our chest. Spinal twist. I'm going to take this leg and press it away from you. My other arm comes towards you. Let her T-shape with this arm. Now, some of us can drop this foot all the way down. Others may not. It has to do with the condition of your gluteal muscles and the flexibility there. Also, the flexibility of your low back. So go to the level that feels comfortable for you. And notice my foot, that's the leg that's straight, my black sock foot. If I pull my toes up towards my face, I feel more sensation in this. So a little rotation of the spine to guide us in our digestive tract. That's my yoga voice coming out. And we just breathe here. Send positive healing exhalations to whichever area of our body we currently feel sensations. Let's come on back to center and we switch other side. Open that arm out. Maybe look over your shoulder behind you, possibly dorsiflex. It's my great foot now, my gray sock. And we breathe. For 5 more counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on back to center. You're going to roll onto one side for a quad stretch, side lying dancer pose. Fold the knee of the top leg. Draw that heel towards your booty. And big tendency is people want to lift their knee up to the sky. Try to drop this knee slightly down to the floor. Reminds me, I haven't given you a word of the day, or a phrase of the day, or a question. So, my question, answer this to me in your submission. What is your major in college? And it's okay if you're undecided, but whatever your major is, or what job you would like to pursue if you don't already have that job. So, answer me that along with what your heart rate was today. Also, your favorite part of this session and your least favorite part of the session. And basically, I've used feedback from previous semesters to find out that it's also because I can't see you. If something hurts, I want to know what it is, and maybe I can talk you through it in responding to your submission for your assignment as far as, well, try this, try bending your knee this way, or try not squatting as much, or something of that nature. Let's switch it out to the other side. But I do appreciate the students that give me a lot of details. Just want to make sure you're doing okay as well. It's a little challenging to take classes virtually. It's a little challenging to teach classes in this virtual setting as well. And it's great to hear from you. I want to make sure you're doing all right. Breath continuation here. We have 7 more counts like this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's release the hold of this leg, and let's find ourselves sitting up. Butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet to touch. Hold on to your ankles as opposed to your toes. This is a nice stretch for the groin, inner thigh area. Some of us might want to stay upright like this. Others might appreciate, there was a snap, crackle, pop for myself, hinging forward, sinking face over feet, and breathing. Check my clock here. All right, I'm going to stop my Apple Watch for the workout since we're stretching. Name workout. There we go. Call that my mixed cardio workout. There we go. We're done. Okay, sit back up, straighten one leg forward, and I'll give a visual here. So hinge on forward, get a nice stretch for these hamstrings. If you have the ability to reach your hand for this foot, go for it. If you don't have that ability, that's okay. Hands can rest at thighs, knees, shins, ankles, feet, floor. If you happen to have a yoga strap or a spare towel, you can wrap that spare shirt around the arch of your foot to help you sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. And just as an FYI, you can tell on this YouTube channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, that there are several workouts that I've created, whether they're Pilates-based or yoga-based, and you're welcome to do one of those workouts. Not as a substitute for this class, but just as if you're bored someday and want to focus more on stretching or more on abdominal core, more stretching with yoga, more abdominal core with Pilates. Bring ourselves up. Let's straighten it out. Other side. Hinge on forward and breathe. Five more counts. 4, 3, 2, and we'll bring ourselves up, finding ourselves in a downward facing dog if you're able to. So basically, my butt's to the sky, I have straightened elbows, starfish hands. I'm attempting to push my heels down. Now, I'm able to get my heels down. Most of you will not be able to get those heels into the floor. That's okay. But basically stretching through the arms and through my calves and my hamstrings as well. Continue to breathe. Now I'm going to step 1 foot forward in between my hands and drop my back knee down if that's okay for your body. This is called a kneeling warrior. It's a great stretch for this psoas muscle, this hip flexor of my back leg. Possibly to feel more sensation, if balance is okay, raise one arm up, maybe the other arm. With or without the arms lifted, if I look up towards my hands, I feel even more intensity in this stretch. So you get to select your options and breathe with it. I'm going to release down. I'm going to curl my back toes under, step back into my down dog. Now lunge my other leg forward, drop this knee down, and lift through chest and heart center. So different to be down here. I don't feel much in my hip flexor, but if I lift up, if that's okay for your knee joint, that's great. Possibly raise one arm, maybe both. With without the arms raised, maybe look up towards the ceiling. Always breathe. release. Let's step forward. Standing position. Dip one ear towards the shoulder, lengthening the muscles on the side of our neck. We made it. Day one. Come on back to center. Switch over to the other side. By the way, I'm a fan of the Healthy Hippie here. It's a vegan restaurant in Watauga. Come on back to center. Chest extension with our arms. And I'm just going to give you a little back view. I survived their detox. I started out back in January, went 28 days for their 28-day detox. So, plant-based, vegan, plenty of gluten-free options as well. If you're ever interested in trying to add more veggies into your meal plan. Slowly bring ourselves up from our chest expansion. Tricep zipper stretch. And maybe add lateral flexion if you want to add lateral flexion. Switch it out, other arm. And release. All right. Thank you for joining me for day one of our aerobic fitness, body sculpting, weight training session here at Tarrant County College. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.